middle of the pack result back at Blast, but obviously it was FaZe that they faced off against there in that deciding game. So, you know, you can kind of say fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough on that one. For MOUZ, we've not seen them since Rio. And boy, are we excited to see him again. Dual Berettas for Torshi. I like that to open up. For OG, it's just a little bit of utility on Nexa and armor across the rest of the pack. Already, Banana's been corrupted. It's been taken. MOUZ are moving in. They've opened up, but there's the reply for Dexter. Torshi dead. Up in the apartments. JDC's gonna do it alone. He's making it work, making it happen. Can't get the reload off, but he somehow pulled this back to a 1v1.
Oh my goodness, the fact that they're even still in this one after that double from Dexter. Frozen's got a lot of ground to cover though, and he's not got a kit yet. The reroute for Fiku is ballsy. He's going to go all the way around the long side. He will have a bit of timing in his favor, and with that fairly open plant, it's not behind the old default box. He will be able to stop the defuse, and Frozen's not in a hurry to get on it. He's just going to get shot in the back of the head. Fiku, 3 kills with those Julies to close, and a nice little pistol for OG. It almost gets very awkward there with that Apps peak. You think, oh, maybe we could go back to B with that double from Dexter, but when you get fed an A kill like that, of course you're going to leap out. MOUZ make it very close thanks to JDC, but it's not enough to win the pistol.
Right, we got the force back in from MOUZ. Throwing in a couple of Deegs. I say a couple. Literally everyone's on a Deagle with the exception of Torshi.
So not everyone.
On in, yeah, you know. I said it weirdly twice.
Not a couple and not everyone, but almost.
But somewhere in between.
Most of MOUZ.
JDC. He's got one of those Deagles. And he's posted. This angle from Fiku is so ballsy.
Fiku, are you kidding me?
Fiku, are you kidding me?
Triple kill on the pistol though, so the 1 AK, feeling good. And OG been talking about trying to set this guy up to be more of a closer, to be more of a star player. We did see that back at the end of last year when OG had some great results. You'll know a little bit more about that. Extra.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it coming into this round, but then I thought, you know, this was going to be a little bit up-tempo with the 3 MAC-10s, and then it hasn't been up-tempo. It's been
about
very measured. Here's the push. Explosive out into the top of mid, but Dexter's dropped that smoke, now looks to play behind it. He's doing a good job of wasting time, but there's some kills coming through the smokes. Nexa's wrapping long, and Torshi is locked out, so MOUZ are saving. OG, they're going to find this conversion. So yeah, let's kind of talk about the teams a little bit, right? In some sense of the word, both these guys actually had a nice ending to the year for very different reasons, right? For MOUZ, their year ended with Rio. They went on to finish top 4. There was a great performance from the squad, right? You know, kind of set a new standard for what this MOUZ team is capable of. For OG, their Rio was actually bad as far as it goes, eliminated in the Challenger stage. But then they ended up playing in the Blast World Finals. There they finished top 4. Things were looking up for a moment, right? And I do think a big part of that, obviously, is going to be Dexter when you're talking about guys in this team to keep an eye on. But even more so, someone who I found myself kind of enamored with over the course of the event was Fiku. His ability to clutch out rounds, to win in clutch scenarios, in high-pressure moments was very commendable, to say the least. Like, he was a real closer to the game, and so I want to see that keep up, and it already has to open up this series, right? Winning that clutch to find OG the pistol. He's kind of the guy who's laid out this foundation for this start for OG on Inferno.
Yeah, he's also the only Polish player left in the tournament as well, with Diha's elimination yesterday, and Ed's going out in the play-in. Fiku being that one representation on home soil, definitely wants to make it to the Spodek as well. But we're very early. We are a ways away. However, the warmed-up OG coming in from that previous stage against the ring-rusty MOUZ. It was good to hear from Frozen when Heku talked to him pre-game about how they've been prepping and doing a lot of prac over the break. It is quite a break, a couple of months, 2.5 months. But still, shaking off that ring rust, not always the easiest. Gonna need some oil in the gears. Or will it just be a squeaky mouse?
That's good.
Thanks.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I tried to give more of a reaction and then no noise came out. It just went.
No, I know it was a good one.
That was good.
I know it was.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so
Look at this
funny
stat carry. I'm hilarious. There's 4 MOUZ players on the site.
Yeah, here's the push up in the top mid. Nexa, Neofrag, Dexter and Flames all up through the short side. Nexa tagged from this scout. Whoa. The MAC-10s will run him down and they've seen Frozen at the back of the site. Still, players here to deal with. They didn't know about JDC down in mini pit and he softens up a couple with the P250 but can't quite take him over the line. So there's that 3-0 start for OG, and considering everyone's tag, considering everyone low, and they're walking into an A-side stack, they do very well to get out of that with 4 players still alive when all is said and done. But this round, Hugo, this is the one where it's going to get a hell of a lot more exciting. We've even got an AWP purchased up immediately for Torshi, wasting no time bringing that out.
That is a trolly kill from Nexa, but it works. And yeah, Torshi, quite a talent. The first acquisition from NXT to the main squad on MOUZ. And High's coming out the gate. I mean, the fact that this is a top 4 major team is very impressive when you consider the lack of, you know, I don't want to say, you know, I guess experienced leader would be the point, right? Obviously you got Dexter, but he got pulled over from Australia, and as we've seen with Greyhound's very early exit from this event, you know, it was quite a jump, it felt, to go from, you know, a top Australian team to go to a European team, and the skyrocket MOUZ have had ever since. And then Frozen, of course, who's been a part of this organization for a long, long time. Definitely one of the calmer players, one of the more reliable players, but still no legends in this team, not yet, but they're forming their story, and Torshi's a big part of it, finding Flames in middle as OG get ready to pop.
JDC and Dexter hold the line. That's the bomb tumbling out of the apartments. It's wrapping long. That's a nice kill to have found. Going to give him a lot more room. With the smoke down in library, he doesn't have to worry about this second player that's rotated over, but they will have to flush Dexter out of the pit. Exertion's even taken an angle in top mid.
Love it.
Both players here, but he's not jumping the gun on this wrap round. Oh, he will swing out and he will win it. Dexter's now got his attention divided, and there's the shutdown from Frozen. That library smoke has long since faded, and so MOUZ will pick up their first when the rifles come out.
Yeah, bomb drop was super awkward. They tried to regroup, pull back from long to find that banana flank that they knew was coming in, but Exertion just hiding long enough in middle to even get himself a 1v1. Nothing worse than the feeling of hitting the perfect flash on an AWPer, but what do? They immediately fire into the blindness and they kill you. I feel like you didn't even make the mistake. Just trying to play off your teammate's util. OG, send it back up B. 3 here. Torshi, that's a very big kill. Defends his 2 teammates that were in the open, one even with nades out. Strong start. Another 5v4 taken by this AWP. And I guess going back to that conversation of there being no legends, I think part of that is just the fact that we have so many academy players or ex-academy players in this team, right? The whole core of it, for crying out loud. And man, some say kids of the future. This roster is proof of that. Fiku moves up short. Double long as MOUZ have again made the right gamble. 4 players here. And OG are walking into the unknown.
I build Fiku as a hell of a closer in this round. He's the guy looking to get that ball rolling, right? With him deep on this entrenched angle at the car, he's kind of hoping that someone rotates over and that he can catch them in that transition. Yeah. Now he's going to get activated. Won't clear Dexter at the back of the site, so he holds on for now, but a lot more where that came from. Neofrag is up to the task of the trade. Site falls into the hands of OG. MOUZ. This next fight is weighted very, very heavily, right? Low HP on Flames, but that's not info that MOUZ are privy to. They need something to entice them in for this retake. And with Dexter securing it from the pit, the fate of the round has just been decided on that one gunfight there.
Yeah, that's really unlucky for Dexter. It almost felt like the trade was nearly too late for Neofrag, but Dexter peeked into peeked into it, and then he gets peeked a second after just here, and more than favors Neofrag, catches him out in the open with no cover.
We're gonna have to really pronounce the
Dexter,
egg in Dexter, right?
Egg.
Like that's the easiest way.
Old Deggy, mate.
But yeah, no, I think MOUZ are kind of, you know, because you were just talking about like the academy players or the ex-academy players within this team. They're kind of a very, very cool squad when you look at the team that's here versus the one that was in Katowice last year, right? It is a nearly well, no, I was going to say nearly unrecognizable. Not true, right? There was Torshi, there was JDC, you had Dexter here as well, you had Frozen, so actually a lot of them. But the one thing I'll say is that was JDC standing in for BMAS, right? Yeah. He wasn't even confirmed to be moving up yet from MOUZ NXT. Torshi was the only one who had that promotion, and then obviously his kind of impression at that event, and by the way, that's the MOUZ with MBK still in the squad, his impression that he left at that event very much kind of earned him that call up. And then we had the transition start to happen slowly but surely, and the results for MOUZ have been this steady incline. Really, if you wanted to trace it back, you could say ever since Katowice of last year, since these changes started occurring, and we had the academy players come in to replace the old guard.
MBK having even played on both of these rosters, or both these orgs at least as well, which is, you know, funny crossover. Out on the Deg and Dex. Suddenly you've got lots of links between these two European squads. And I feel like the conversation of international teams and communication problems has never really existed with either of these teams to the same degree. I think it's more understandable for MOUZ in that so many of these players came up and their first pro teams were not national teams anyway. Torshi had played in Hungarian rosters before. Not the deepest talent pool there. Nice pick for Fiku. He's gonna get out, maybe. That nade goes in, but won't reach him. Another 5v4, this time for OG though. It's often been Torshi cracking these rounds open. He tried in apartments, but denied. And now in a 5v4, OG know they have the room to just execute this B site. Bye-bye. The nade late from Dexter hits the target, and now OG are certainly gonna go.
Yeah, Frozen and Tertian, they've got this little double layered setup, right? And that smoke going down at the perfect time. OG might feel the pressure to come through that. They will now. Up top, the boost. Frozen good for 2, and Exertion responds with another, sending that bomb flying and locking Dexter out of the round. That is a non-starter for OG.
Did they not have a flash there? I just presumed that one would go over. I didn't catch if they did. If they did have a flash, it certainly should have been thrown, because that was a bit weird. They were about to execute and go in. They get smoked off. Obviously, the time is a huge factor there. And they try and boost. They find nothing. And then they all just decide to run through together. But not easy without just one well-placed flash can completely ruin that site player, and that's a very different round. Unfortunate for OG, but nice shutdown on the B site. MOUZ make no mistake. Despite being down a man, they flip it on its head. In fact, the last 3 rounds, whoever's taken that opening kill has lost it. Yeah, it didn't look like a flash was there. Unlucky, I guess. Still able to keep this AWP rolling and a few rifles behind it, but you want to talk lack of utility. This round is a perfect example.
A flash, a pretend flash, a smoke and a molly.
Underused decoys, they really do make players turn. Players of all skill levels. Well, actually, no. Only the best players turn from decoys.
Yeah, because the worst players don't turn from flashes anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, in pistol rounds, there is a value to having a decoy until you have 4,700 and you want to buy an AWP 4 rounds later, and you go, why did I buy that decoy? But there's that one flash, the only one they had in the round, used to take apartments. MOUZ risky moved across back into the pit, but no pressure being put on by OG just yet. They haven't taken mid. Exertion's ready with Frozen in a 1-2 punch on long. There's the decoy.
Something that's a little awkward here is that MOUZ actually had like one more smoke inside of this A site, but then they've ended up dropping it over on default for the one-way, like way too early in terms of when this push is coming in.
Yeah.
You would have loved to have had that smoke now. Still, they're going to do it with numbers alone, or at least that's the idea. Dexter, this is quite the lineup over on short. Frozen swings out from long, and it is a lovely quad mid setup from MOUZ. They kind of spring into action together. I say quad, 3 players there. And then JDC anchoring from within the site, responsible for the apartments. MOUZ with a third lovely layup. You could see that one coming together. It felt destined that Dexter was going to ruin their lives over on short. You could see that lineup happening.
Talking decoy theory crafting, because, you know, in the spirit of Anders, who has been putting some theory craft videos on his Twitter this week, you know, one way that we've seen decoys used efficiently on this map specifically is teams going in banana and throwing the coffin CT smokes, but with decoys. And often, if you see them come over as a CT, you just see the nades go over in the perfect arc to land coffin CT. You throw your molly, you throw your smoke, you panic. We've seen teams bait it out and use utility. I think, obviously, the biggest reason you don't want decoys, it takes up one of your 4 grenade spots. But in terms of, you know, throwing them like that, that's a very cheap way to force out CT utility. Something we don't see very often. Just a small detail, but underused for $50, I gotta say. Neo frag, blowing.
How much money have you put into big decoy, man?
I've got decoy stocks coming out the wazoo.
Yeah, I'm not trying. Like, what's next? You're going to start trying to upsell me on a revolver or what? Like,
No. But I will say the PP buys in quite cheap and a lot of bullets. That's a lot of bullets.
That's an objective fact, isn't it?
Yeah. I just saw Neo frag blowing into the bottom of his mouse hole. Maybe there's some dust in there. Maybe take the ball out, give it a spin, clean it, put it back in.
Nope. Oh, that's a lot of Glocks.
Oh.
Torshi there to mop it up. And so it doesn't get out of hand, which is good. Because when Glock rounds get out of hand, you kind of wince.
It's good fun though, isn't it? Apex had some Glock moments earlier on in gun rounds today. OG calling the timeout here after the Rico. Torshi's been very keen to get involved in these CT rounds. Very mobile. And OG won't have an AWP on Dexter. But of course, not the end of the world on T-side. Inferno perfectly able to do it with a rifle. Meanwhile, oh, it's happening, folks. Oh, the game of the day. Yeah, I'm so down for the IHC winning Katowice. You know, I think we're all kind of expecting it at this point. They killed Brazil 3 times over, back at the major, twice here in Poland, and now they're taking on Liquid on the B stream. Exciting times. Very cool storyline for those boys. Down banana.
Yeah, quick play. Dexter trying to respond, does bring us back into a 4v4, only for a moment. Flames extends the lead to OG now. And they've got a serious foothold here. A lot of options open to OG in a round like this. MOUZ make the decision to leave Torshi anchoring this B side of the map alone. He's going to get up on top of the half wall, posted there like some sort of rail gun, just holding down the banana. That frees up a second man to go back and supplement this A hold. Exertion tucked in at the graveyard. And the other point of contact going to come from JDC on the long angle. OG grind to a full halt here. They want to try and feel out, you know, what's the adjustment? Are we going to get given any aggression? When that doesn't happen, they will have to group and make a play. And it looks like they're tempted by banana. Now, the ideal thing for Torshi here would be get one, drop down, get the hell out of there. He does have a molly to slow the push as well and buy that much more time for these rotates. He was really feeling the pressure to get that one kill. Will have to back up now. Things are heating up. The mollies come through, and so OG have got to smoke that and move through it. Torshi nails the first, but there's more where that came from. They're going up and over the top. They do deal with him. JDC, meanwhile, from CT Spawn, thins the herd and leaves it all on Fiku, but I've said before, closing is this guy's specialty. Don't count him out of this round. 1v2, they swing him together, out from CT, and Fiku is clean! Clutch King of OG puts another one on the board, and it's gonna keep them in the lead.
Gnarly shooting from Fiku. That is exactly what we wanted, and that's exactly what OG have been saying. They are setting him up for these rounds. Even the fact that he sticks that bomb plant on blue when there's a huge gap in CT and JDC has just killed 2 of his teammates. That's a ballsy play in and of itself, but he expects the respect. MOUZ give it to him, and then he takes it all away. Sick shooting from Fiku. Wow.
Seriously, man, he just gets like a clutch buff. In those moments, he's like worth 2 players. Dexter. Oh, okay. Full blind, but still delivers. Trade is there for exertion, and he takes it one step further. He will decide eventually, all right, enough's enough. I'll take the 4v3.
They don't know the AWP is even here.
They're about to learn.
Are they about to boost, though?
Want to try and fight this. Don't get skewered. Torshi knocks another out of the round. It's Fiku on the receiving end. Now for Flames and Nexa. Wounded as they make their way up the top of Banana. They've lost second mid, so there's even a third man rotated over for MOUZ. They've got everyone in the right place, and Torshi's not missing a beat. Give this guy a peek and he'll win it.
Reloading in the pool? I'll give it to you. It's ballsy. But they're ready to close, and Flames need some 1v1s here. They're not giving it to him. Just the AWP facing. Boosted up for exertion. Back in CT for Dexter. Flames, I think he's combat saving right now with 20 seconds to go. Dexter needs a gun, though, so he will be moving somewhere in. Grab a couple of rifles, and MOUZ, I mean, they may as well build their money. They don't have to chase this kill, and I like how they actually just pull back there and go to really safe positions. They let Flames save. They know his money will be lopsided as well. It's not in line with his team. He even grabs the AWP right at the very end. So Flames is happy, but has to give that to Dexter with 2K, so it's still a very weird round. Nice shooting for Torshi at B, man. He has not missed a shot yet, it feels like, and he's been very quick on these dry peaks. Even when we saw him flashed over at A, able to hit those timing shots, so it's a good sign.
Bro, Flames has been robbed. I'm just going to say, if he could give him the deagle, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Give me the deagle.
Okay, okay. I like this. He really wants to be involved, and there's other guys who this AWP can get juggled onto. Burning alive and then finished off by the rotate in. That AWP not retrieved. Neo Frag just able to get it back into the hands of Nexa. Up close to the wall. They're all around him. They are all around him, but he's got the big green.
He kills one and they trade him every time. Even if he only gets a shot at one, he won't be able to hit it. And that should be the round. They're even chasing down Banana to finish Fiku off. Nice stuff. Suppressive. Oh, MOUZ. 5 alive.
That's the ace for exertion as well.
I didn't see that. Incredible.
Nailed it. Love a little anti-eco, don't you?
Mostly Glocks. Just that one AWP that got shuffled over. But a nice confidence booster nonetheless. MOUZ not taking Banana in these rounds, just fighting for Car, but they're fighting it with 3 players. It's almost welcoming OG in. And every time they've gotten a couple of kills, they get surprised by that third man, who's typically Torshi's AWP.
This is nice from MOUZ, though, right? Right now, they're not letting OG string anything together, right? Ever since the pistol and the conversions, that was the last time OG went on any sort of streak. So MOUZ are feeling pretty comfortable here, right? They're starting to amass a bit of money. Torshi, never willing to step down from these fights. Another opener found from his AWP. Now Nexa has to lead from beyond the grave. OG OG decide to up and leave Banana. They want nothing to do with it, and that's problematic in and of itself, right? It must feel very restricted right now. MOUZ have been very willing to fight you for this Banana control, and oh yeah, the guy who opened the round, yeah, now he's over here and holding you at the short side.
Oh, that should not be near frags kill, but very fast flick back. It's given away back in for OG, but Frozen doesn't want to allow that problem to get worse. Falls back to be with his util, and Dexter's even here with a flash to supplement. Torshi's gone further aggressive, and Dexter has the bomb. So can't commit without support. It's coming in the form of flames. Torshi, one more shot, one more chance here. And he's gonna hit it.
Lovely. Lovely from the Torshi or Neo Frag. Just out of the round, just saving this AK armor. And so that's 7 on the board for MOUZ. The CT side is starting to swell out of control at this point. Right, they've done well considering this started 4-1 to OG's favor. They've been locking them out since these guns have come into play. Counter-terrorists win. Back to the drawing board for OG.
That's crazy, man.
It does just look wild, doesn't it?
He's been so influential. You know, it's when he faces the best of the best that Torshi can have very quiet games and can be silenced very, well, not very easily, but very often. But in these kind of fair matchups where this game is super equal, super even in terms of the odds, it's not very clear who the favorite is, even though MOUZ coming in arguably with better form from definitely from last year, but OG having that more recency bias, and of course having warm-up here at Katowice as well. MOUZ haven't played an official since Rio. So it's hard to know, but that's the exact kind of match where Torshi's going to go balls to the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I just really love how mobile he's been on this CT side, right? Yeah. Like, it is kind of crazy how, literally in that last round, he opens it up over towards B, and then within, 15 seconds, he's AWPing down short and wrecking people there on the A side of the map. There's a lot of intent behind these repositions with the AWP, right? He's always looking to make a play, it feels like, and I do like this. You're getting a lot of mileage out of him for it. Even this round, he's kind of the guy who's volunteered himself into this rotate position.
Oh,
that's a
good catch.
That's a little rough. They would have loved that smoke.
Yeah, I mean, they literally don't have one now for B. Not ideal. They've just got to hit it with this one flash from Fiku, and I don't know if he's even throwing it right now. Deeks are out. They're just contacting in. Now, they will get a chance at a 1v1 just straight off the top, but then talking of top, Exertion's on boost. Frozen gets out a nade at the right time. Exertion pulls 2 apart. Good Deeks, though, in response, and we've already seen Fiku in this exact position. However, 10 health. Pressure's more so on Flames to finish this round. Bomb's going to get planted. Fiku goes really deep.
Dodges the flash, stays tucked in, but JDC doesn't commit to the clear, not yet anyhow. I don't even think he believes anyone's in this corner. I think he thinks he's cleared it.
Oh, good
smoke down. That will make life hard for Fiku.
Might have to go through it.
Him and Flames are boxed in, trapped, right? Both sides of Coffin smoked, and the nade connects. Fiku's got to get them off this bomb with the spam, and he can't find it. Nice util there from MOUZ to alleviate and remove any threat that 2v3 presented. Both players were locked out in an instant.
Yeah, they had no idea as well. MOUZ weren't to know. They could have been back at dark and maybe even caught the timing to quad. There was no guarantee for MOUZ, so very good read to box them in, both to ruins. And yeah, if JDC goes one step too far on his own into a position that he should certainly think is clear, he's a dead man, and that's how that round unravels. But no, MOUZ don't allow it to happen. They take their time, they smoke both chokes, and they box in OG in the post plant. So it never should have really even been that close. There were 2 very well placed Deeks after Exertion comes away with 3 kills in that round. But even so, MOUZ won't let it get any further. 8-5, a solid defense here, but OG can make this an even half with this next gun round. Had a couple of low econs go the other way.
All right. I'm gonna drop a spoiler alert here for the B-Stream game, Liquid versus IHC. That's raging on over there. If you don't want to hear it, mute now. It's 9-2 currently to IHC. So keeping the good times coming in. Oh, that's just the leg. Man, advantage resides with OG. A little while since they had one of these go untraded. And so they've got to take full use of it. Oh, that could have been the end for Torshi there. Thank God they did not commit to the peak, so this AWP will have another go at it. Frag starting to pressure Banana.
Oh, are they going to gamble? It might be the right round for it because the util's already pretty lacking. And a 4v5, Torshi tagged. This isn't a bad call for MOUZ. It's also not a common call to see MOUZ do, so it's not necessarily going to be something OG expect. Exertion's still hanging around, so he has Archway, he has the info on long, but he will be able to hear top B Nuisance. And this is, in fact, the right call for MOUZ at the moment. Even though Exertion's leaning back, he won't forever because OG are about to announce this attack.
Yeah, flash goes over the top. JDC not blind to it. Down in the pit, he's able to be a nuisance. He's got his teammates back, and even though the short side wrap from NeoFrag does find one onto Torshi, both players are here for MOUZ. They're not going to give him the fight either. They're going to make him work for this. Bomb looks like it's up in the apartments as well, so needs a kill, and it's not going to happen. JDC wonderfully played from the pit angle. Yeah. That flash that goes over the top doesn't blind him. He's playing that little, tucked in angle. And he's able to dodge the flashbang and then lights them up, even dropping the one-way smoke, alleviating any pressure that a Molly might have had coming in from the short side.
And I was going to say, other than one round that he dropped it on default, right? He's been holding that smoke a lot. I've seen him almost drop it, but not quite, and wait for the guaranteed commitment into A before he does. It gives you so much room. And I mean, we even have an Apex earlier after that Vitality Nip game talking about Pit and Spinks' role change on this map. Like, it's probably the best anchor position in Counter-Strike right now. So, yeah, JDC, very important spot, makes it look easy. And MOUZ looking for a double-digit CT side on OG's map pick. This would be a damn good start to the series. And, reassuring to, I think there's some questions on teams like MOUZ, teams like Outsiders. Can they keep up what we saw at the end of the last year? This is already giving us some good info, some good data. B hit off the bat. Bomb is late, and they need this entry. Team Dink won't help, but Nexon now knows that Exertion's stuck at the back of the site. Great flash from Dexter, though, and Frozen even swings through coffins as well. This is how all these B holds are gone. They get 3 kills, and then a couple of trades back give you hope again for OG. Oh, the molly.
Oh, Nexus walked through it. He's all well and good. Gets the bomb planted. Fiku gonna go back, try fight for Banana. This guy, in these moments where you really need him to step up, always one to deliver. Now playing ahead of the Banana smoke. He's right here. They're both looking away. Torshi has to flick for it. Just next to left to beat, and he
Single. I smoke city. Oh, I didn't smoke. Fifth. Run together on the left. One city. Should be new box. Second box. That. Nice city. Yeah. City. Take up if you have time.
On his face, it's definitely a good sign of Liquid's life if Elysian Naf are at the top of the scoreboard.
Oh, for sure. And IHC letting the scrim flow through them right there with that toe maneuver, really taking it out of the box, rolling us back to the 2015 times of just hold W. You see just the flames, the nades, everything just slowing down IHC. Sure, the opening was great, but Elysian playing a bit of crossfire here in the site, promoting his own product, and loving that one. Yakinda trying to fire the boys up. Really does have to play that role for this team, regardless of being under the weather.
True, Yakinda as well puts his name in the feed. His 8th frag. An early control of Banana. Techno just pushes! That will get the desk a little bit slammed. Yakinda just gets run at.
Kind of getting a taste of his own medicine in some of these occasions. Like, yeah, dude, we watched you play. It seems to work. We thought we were going to give it a crack. And again, they've just forced such a heavy response here from Liquid. Three players.
Now is that Bartek's a bit more forward. Typically he was holding it from the back. He's actually receding.
There's a fight here.
Have action on Banana. Nitro just goes looking off the flash and OC good.
They know there's two here. Flash assist and OC with a kill. Do they really want to commit?
They don't. Annihilation starts to back up.
Af's been such a thorn in the side of this A defense, though.
He's opted for Moto. It's an interesting one. Might want to consider getting himself into the site, or he's playing a little more passive.
Again, the same bottleneck. Forced the rotation back, though. Job done.
Yeah, it's mission accomplished. Naf sweeps through. Doesn't know if he's missed them. Didn't miss that one. OC. His second frag and a big one. Onto the forward position of Techno. Back to B. OC. With a good shot onto Bartek. Annihilation low as well. Runs him down. Gets the headshot to at least perhaps.
Over on the B stream, Liquid got off to an incredibly slow start, but IHC, they've been warmed up, they've been ready. It's 9-6 at the half to IHC on Inferno, T side, going onto the CT side. Could they be making another upset? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Ah, yes. 9-6/6-9. It's the funny numbers, and it's on both streams. Here on ours, MOUZ lead the way. That's in spite of a kind of nice start for OG, finding the pistol, finding a rifle round in there early. The bulk of it goes the way of MOUZ. Now OG on their map pick. They've got to show they've got a CT side worth fighting for. The mid-skirmish doesn't pan out well for them. They're wounded, they're injured, and this A stack has been dismantled. My goodness, Flames didn't even see who killed him. And Torshi ran straight past Nexa. But Dexter had him the whole time. That's Dexter with an X.
Brutal pistol. I mean, doesn't get much more one-sided than that. OG throw themselves into middle, and they get sent back to spawn. 10 rounds for MOUZ. They're looking like the real deal right now, especially with that, you know, as I said, recency bias, that knowledge of what OG have just gotten up to in the last couple of months. Downtime for MOUZ, but they've pulled up to Katowice with a passion. Neofrag's running away, they'll allow it. And now they're in a very awkward spot on CT. Probably going to see 4 spies here. This is going to leave us likely at 12-6 unless OG have some great success in this next round. And it's their map pick as well. They're going to have to dig deep. Neofrag's already bought up a FAMAS, so you know they're sending it. And typically, if we go off of the numbers from what we saw last year from MOUZ, this was not a good map for them. This is not a map that they did too well at the Major, despite them having some really big wins back at the Major on other maps. They took down Liquid on Inferno, to be fair, but they also took down ENCE. They took down Cloud9. Even Vitality in a BO1 on Mirage, but they lost this map 3 out of 4 times that they played it at Rio against Cloud9 and Outsiders. So this is a vast improvement. Practice paying off for MOUZ, but the harder side ahead of us. Nades and Deegs out, OG making a gamble, throw a bunch of HEs and then rotate round for a 4-man A stack. It's baited MOUZ at least, they are going into the Lion's Den. Do they have their tranquilizers?
The fights might actually come to them first. Fiku, that's a lovely little swing out from short. However, that one kill looks like it's made MOUZ change their tune. They've gone back with the bomb, now looking for a B hit. Exertion's trapped behind this long smoke, but it's about to fade. Same can be said for this smoke that's down over towards B. Right now, they've got Exertion stuck here out in the open. They will dispatch of him, Neofrag, with that hero FAMAS. Gonna get rid of the lurker. Flames alone inside of the B site, but one kill. He's done his job in the round. Now it's down to the rest of the gang to try take it over the line. You know, Frag doesn't want to jump the gun on this retake. He's got 2 teammates coming up banana, right? So it's got to come together. It's got to come together at the same time.
JDC's got to move. He was almost open to banana there. They don't have a kit, Harry. Time could be the biggest problem for OG, and they're still walking in. MOUZ know that they're probably right up in the entrance at the moment, and there's almost half the time gone off this bomb. Torshi now tucked in, misses that timing, but he's just buying as many seconds as he can. JDC slams the hammer down with 2 headshots, and Nexa, it's a done deal. Get all the kills you want. You can't beat the clock. Time will take us all eventually, and JDC falls as well, but MOUZ will run out happy. A 3-on-5 turned around to pick that one up. OG did a 2v5 in the same scenario, but that was a far more important round for MOUZ to guarantee their pistol conversion. And if anything, I think OG could get baited in this position to buy again. In T-sides with a bomb plant with 4 kills, I'd say that's worth it. I don't want to see them buy in this round. It's going to leave them with far less room for error, far less gun rounds in their CT side on their map pick. And goodness, thank goodness rather, they do go for the eco here. That would be a very dangerous call that 4 kills could tempt a lot of teams into.
Yeah, you know, because coming into this, you said, like, yeah, MOUZ are on, like, the trickier side now, which is true. But I think the one kind of... The one scary thing is T-side is the more snowbally, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to put a lot of emphasis on this initial buy round for OG. You really cannot afford to misstep in the opener in your first rifle round of this CT side, right? Not at this scoreline. At 12-6, you imagine, right? They're going to be investing next round. They're going to have the AWP. It's going to have all the little bells and whistles, everything they could possibly need. No limitations there. But if they come up short... Hang on a second. This one's... No, yeah, okay, they're not good. Sorry, the only reason I got excited was because they're point. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
where was I? Right, here we go. This is what I was saying. It's about to be 12-6. OG are going to have everything they could possibly need. But if they come up short, if they lose that and they go 13-6 down, they're ecoing. And so their next buy isn't till MOUZ are essentially on the finish line.
Yeah.
This rifle round has got to hit the right notes right away for OG, or else this CT side, this map, can feel like a non-starter.
Yeah, it would have never really begun, and that's a shame considering, you know, the start of this game was super competitive out of the gate. It was like 5-5 right at the very beginning, and then MOUZ just took handle of it and ran away. OG were up 4-1 at the beginning of this map, for crying out loud. Just gives more credit to MOUZ, really. Staying cool and frozen, certainly is. Ices Neo Frag, and they just want to go, man. They've still got the Mac 10s, but 2 players at A. The double swing, dangerous. Flames almost gets killed, but the nade is beautiful, and it will keep things pretty for OG. Keeps his B site alive, and as a result, the round. Flames doesn't let things get too out of control.
Oh, Nexus found this timing.
Ooh.
JDC with the trade, but not ready for Dexter's AWP in that same position. The route into this A site closed up somewhat. There's a bit to be said about knowing the AWP's over here at long. Torshi deciding to commit to this is kind of wild.
Yeah.
He should know he has a route up through short into the A site, and it feels like that's been commed across right now. He's going to start to move back.
I hear him run.
Going to start to take up this short position. Bomb going down, Flames and Dexter to beat. Torshi doesn't have his trusty AWP by his side, but will do it with the AK. 1 and 2! He finds them both. Torshi delivers in the clutch. Head on a swivel to make it happen. And he steps up. 13 for MOUZ. We said OG could not have that first buy round fall on deaf ears. But it's done exactly that. And now their fate on Inferno is all up in the air. They've either got to do it with a partial buy or with their last rifle round that they're going to have up against 14.
Just such a confident clutch from what you're saying to go to fight Dexter at long, to just take every fight he can, swing him. He's got full nades, swings him in the post plant, taking down the AWP as well. That's unbelievable. Was not giving them a chance there. Dexter has a shotgun. He is going to make it work. He's got himself an AK.
Kind of like an AWP if you think about it, at the right range.
Yeah, it's perfect for that position at least. Gets an AK, gets out. Was even trying to spam back. for some reason. That feels like, you know, a bit crazy. Way easier for the T's to hit that shot. But my God, I think MOUZ are still reeling a little bit from that previous clutch out from Torshi. He's doing it all with Yorp in the first half. Puts the rifle in place as well, and OG are on pistols, but we already saw MOUZ win a 3v5 from the same position. They've got nothing but this AK on Dexter. He has a kit though, so if things do get weird late round with the right stack, OG can still win this one. They've got 4 on A. And if anything, the AWP might be holding MOUZ back in a round like this where they have to clear this awful crossfire on A. Nice shot from Flames. That's the bomb as well. That's only going to guarantee what OG already know, and they even molly themselves off. Might have to push them into this stack on short.
This is super awkward, and here's the problem. There's like not time to change your mind on this decision, right? Once you learn that it's the stack, you're committed whether you like it or not. 15 seconds as they come up through short. They've left it down to the wire, and it's to their detriment. Fiku's Deagle adds another to the tally for OG, and MOUZ is saving. This one just gets written off.
They're chasing, look at them. The hounds.
They're right behind them. Oh, man. They won't be able to take these guns out by the looks. Nexa gives it his best,
no, that's
and
the AWP.
Fiku drops the AWP. The door was left open. Were you born in a barn?
Is there a draft in here? That's such an awkward round ender for MOUZ. And it comes off of that molly. They wanted to long wrap. Long wrap would have been the way in with that setup, right? How heavy was the short side setup for OG? They had default player, they had pit player. If MOUZ get long control on that split, it's a way better round. They have OG are way more uncomfortable with their stack, but a self molly at 20 seconds forces MOUZ into their own death.
I like that they've called in the immediate pause, right? Because a part of me wonders, like you said, you know, where you kind of, you get a certain adrenaline, you get a certain ooh coursing through you when you win a clutch, like Torshi did in that 1v2, and maybe they tried a little too hard to just ride it out, right, and keep approaching it with that level of confidence. It's cost them greatly, and so they immediately try to remedy it, like, okay, let's not go from like the really high highs to the crushing low of anti-eco and have that get in our head, right? They want to try and make sure they're all on the same page here. Now, they don't have a lot to work with. That's no secret. You have that gun that Frozen brought with him into this round. And you've got a collection of pistols, a flash and a smoke as well on Dexter. That flash looking like it's going to be the window flash to get them up banana. Molly to clear close. Dexter wants his say, and he will get involved with this CT AWP.
And now he's just on the corner. He has some nice fallback protocols in place.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
think
repeat.
if you wanted to identify the big scary, it was meant to be that AWP. It was meant to be Dexter, and the promise that more was coming from him individually in this second half. But that decision to go and face, that decision to go and fight, it's not only given over a 4v4, but it's put an AWP in the hands of MOUZ. They've thrown the wall smoke to go and get the AWP.
You're crazy.
Now they're fighting, and they found a route into the site. Fiku tried so hard to deny that AWP pickup that he throws his life away.
Yeah, neo frag. He is in position to try and stop a plant, but JDC needs to be blinded by this flash, and he is. It's perfect, but still no kill comes out. They're going to need more util. Flames has got it. Over the top, they line up. Neofrag falls off, but he takes 2 with him. Down to the depths of hell himself, and Nexa finishes the round. I've got to say, Fiku needed to use that smoke there. You say you wanted to deny the AWP pickup, and sure, that might have been a, you know, dropping your smoke meant that MOUZ might have been able to go grab it, but that's the only way you stop the hit. He just calls for a flash to fly into the choke point to 1v3 him. It's a very ballsy play. OG just cycle flashes over the top of B in that round, but it does win them the round at the end of the day, despite Torshi's best efforts with the Deeg. Still some very scary decisions for OG that could have cost them an anti-eco. One that they can't afford to lose this late in the game. And now another one of the same, just pistols with Frozen's hero Galil.
New round, new spot for this AWP. Dexter staying mobile, trying to keep them guessing. Don't have the util to take him off this angle, really. Dexter does have a flash, but that's likely going to be used to assist in taking mid. Going to be hard-pressed to get this AWP off the angle.
It will probably go behind him over the pit.
This is a nice bit of control. This could get a little weird. If Flames can't hold the line, now they're wrapping long. Suddenly, these players inside of A are responsible for just so many angles, so much ground to cover from this A hold. The nade is nice. At least brings you back into the 4v4, and Nexa is still delivering from the pit, but Dexter's got to keep his head on a swivel, and he will. Nails both the long players. And so what should have been a tricky round, what should have actually been quite hard for that double A hold, ends up looking very easy. Let's tune in for a bit of a B stream update. Ooh, how it's closed up, eh? IHC felt like they were running away with it for a while there at 9-2.
Even at 9-4, I saw Yakinda like really shouting and kicking up a storm, so you know he's fully believing trying to pull it back. Can't count Liquid out. Still favourites in that game ultimately, even if they came in slow. It can happen. Oh, awkward molly. Oh no, that actually is, I think that's purpose to put out their smoke. That's actually sick if that's the case. It goes in close, and then the smoke, it's meant to bounce off the wall and go deep and cut out MOUZ from Banana. Blooms on logs. That does certainly look purpose for MOUZ. That's a really nice change. Means they just have Banana, and OG's deep smoke is completely useless. Very cool to see. MOUZ have full B, and OG have to sit back in the bomb site. Orb is still on short for Dexter. Just this chess game of trading pieces up the top of B. Molly for molly, flash for flash, pawn for pawn. And eventually MOUZ, they feel like they've gotten enough util out of OG that they're going to go back into this A site. Dexter though, first point of contact, they need a flash.
Well, they don't want to go prawn for prawn over at top Banana anymore. There's plenty more fish in the sea, right? They're going to go back over towards this A side of the map. Flames. Now Long tries to fight ahead of the smoke.
Oh, no,
Dexter's getting run at, and he's very wide on the angle. If it was just one or two, maybe he's in with a chance, but the whole team erupts around that short angle. Oh, exertion! Domes Nexa down in the pit and locks them out of the round. MOUZ are onto 14, and OG are left saving. Exertion even looking tempted to go on the hunt here to remove some of these guns from play. And if he could take them out, going to make that next round very expensive. But honestly, I think for MOUZ, it's more of a risk than it's worth at this point. They will just elect to keep 4 alive. They're very happy with how that one pans out. And I've got to say, that's actually, you know, that's twice now that we've had Flames over here towards the arch side, trying to fight ahead of this smoke, trying to keep very active on the angle, and getting shut down, and it just leaves such a big hole at this A site.
And thanks to production for that replay, because it showed that not just the molly MOUZ threw put out the smoke earlier than it should have gone, but then OG's molly that was meant to land in front of the smoke bloomed in their own smoke. Yeah. So they actually put out their own molly thanks to MOUZ's smoke. It's like the talk of the util trade. That really is just well, that's a great trade for MOUZ. They'll take it.
That really is the util trade.
Yeah, that is util. It's part of it. So very nice stuff. MOUZ, big brains. And great aims, because Exertion's round there was crispy. Torshi certainly been stealing the show with the AWP in the first half, but that entry on Flamesy on Long, and then the pit player, bop, bop. And that's a round on Inferno. 14-9. OG have everything, at least thanks to the save, but they've got to do something with it. Lose it here, and it might just be GG.
Yeah, like I said, for my money, Dexter has to be like that point man, because Torshi was so influential with the CT side AWP, it was crazy. He was so involved, he was so harassing of the OG ranks. And Dexter, he's had a couple of moments, he's had a couple of kills, but it has been kind of shy of the impact that Torshi found in that first half, and I think he's the guy that's got to get unlocked. He's the guy that's got to get really switched on. if this wants to remain competitive. MOUZ, they're at that tipping point where they could make this very easy for themselves if they win this round here and now. Oh, they're spamming. They're spamming.
Yeah.
Trapped in that smoke. There's a lot of bodies.
Dude, this is so nice for OG. They just saved the util a few seconds later this round, and MOUZ got too comfortable in Banana, and OG have not just retaken Car, but they've retaken the whole Banana. MOUZ now know there's 3 there, though. Dexter hangs in the molly to try and take a shot, but no one gives him the satisfaction. And now MOUZ, sure, they're ahead of the stack. They are going into the right site, but they have run low on nades, and they are battered and bruised. Still Frozen holds his flank. He's yet to come through yet. I think 1 kill wins you the round here. Dexter's moto smoked. It's basically Nexa or bust, multi-kill or go next.
Oh, this is so weird.
Dexter's come through.
Dexter gone. Oh, it's just, it's crazy in the blink of an eye. That kill feed illuminated with MOUZ players picking up the entries, picking up bomb sites and locking in 15. Map point on OG's map pick. And after that little 3-round streak that OG embarked upon, it felt like there was going to be some saving graces. There was going to be a chance in this second half. Well, those chances are a thing of the past now. The money's run out for OG, right? These saved guns, this is really it up against 15. NeoFrag's got an extra K line around, but it's barely even worth talking about. You just lack the resources. You lack the firepower up against MOUZ in this spot now. They've made it very easy for themselves to take this game over the line without even having to break a sweat.
And especially with, you know, how good of a round that looked for OG at the start. They just didn't rotate that 3rd player out of Banana after they took it. And MOUZ just go, oh, you want to show all your cards? You want to tell us what you got? We're just going to go elsewhere. We're going to call your bluff. And OG had clearly no intention of rotating because they just wanted to rely on the flank. But Frozen stayed on it the whole round in that pit in mid. So yeah, I don't think MOUZ could have called that round better, just getting ahead of the stack and you know, locking out the flank as well. So 15-9, we've seen a very well-called game from Dexter on this T side, and MOUZ are ready to end it now. OG forcing together every penny they've pilfered. MOUZ throw that same molly in the entrance of Banana, but this time it doesn't get deep smoked. OG saved their smokes for the site. They've decided Banana is not worth it. They'll give it up fully. Dex is going back for every little bit more utility he can muster. Finds an HE.
You know, I think one of the coolest things about Dexter, because you say he's called a great game, and he definitely has, is just that the whole story for the Australian region for the longest time was, you know, no one was arguing that the players weren't good mechanically. They would always get bested on like a tactical level, right, when it came to coming over to Europe. So not only in like a very short space of time with this MOUZ project was he able to lay some solid foundations, right? But even more so than that, when you actually look at the individuals that he has on his team, he doesn't have like these huge stars. These were brand spanking new players when they joined his ranks that he had to mold into something great. So that's what really makes this MOUZ upwards trajectory so impressive. And, you know, for these guys coming into this year, they had to show that Rio wasn't a fluke, that this is the trend of this team, that the trend is upwards. And they've at least delivered on that in this opening map. Dexter wrapping the shot, man, but the Deagle sails past him. Thankfully, Flames was there to pick it all up, but that was just a ruse. The real nature of this play was at B, and JDC's opened up the bomb site.
Yeah, and they've even got a re-smoke for CT as well. Flank is coming from Banana with 2, but Torshi, he's been so good for 1 in these spots. He'll find it. It's like CT side all over again. Dexter gets wider, but knife out, he's gone. And Flames is left alone to finish this off, to try and save the map from falling apart at the seams. 1v2, they're both here in the site, ready to fight. Frozen in the pool, and he is going to ice it out. 15 goes 16, and MOUZ take the map. OG's picking the series, and MOUZ are feeling very good.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be right. With performances like this, it's a very even spread across the board. Everyone's showing up today, and it leaves them in such a good spot in this series now. With Overpass coming down the pipeline next, is this a MOUZ 2-0 teed up?